the Born on This Day ASMR series. Today is February 23rd, the day of the viable candidate. We are reading from The Secret Language of Birthdays by Gary Goldschneider and Joost Elfers. This book is a work of personology. A day is a year, is a lifetime, is an age. Personology combines history, psychology, numerology, tarot, and astrology to form a personality guide for each person based on their day of birth. I plan to make a video for each day of the year following the grand life cycle. We are beginning with the ceremonial lighting of the woodwick candle for each person born on this day. And if today is your birthday, happy birthday. And it's always fun to see what each day has to offer. I like to use this book as a sort of daily devotional to learn about the energy of each day. Thank you for joining me. Now let's begin. I like to double check my posture on camera sometimes. I feel like I slouch a lot. Working on that. February 23rd people specialize in offering not only their ideas, but also themselves as viable alternatives to less than ideal circumstances. They're often problem solvers, engaged in moving things forward in a positive direction. Once those born on this day are convinced that they are the best candidate for a job, position of family leadership, or social responsibility, they must secure that position, or at least receive a fair hearing. Their arguments are usually cogent and sound, as is their advice, for rarely do they try to convince anyone of their views until they have done their homework thoroughly. February 23rd people are realists, down-to-earth individuals adept at sizing up a situation and placing their finger on precisely what can be improved. Unfortunately, February 23rd realism may in fact be pessimism, and particularly in later life, those born on this day must beware of becoming hypercritical, even bitter. There is an undeniably dark side to February 23rd people, necessitating a careful balance of their energies to avoid depression. They must particularly beware of falling into self-destructive patterns. February 23rd people have a solid hold on the material world. They are not overly indulgent in enjoying the luxuries of life. For them, the thrill of dealing with practicalities and everyday difficulties has to do with building on yesterday and preparing for the complexities of tomorrow. They are like a motor which, once running, keeps running, and those born on this day are happy to expand their base of operations, but will generally do so cautiously. One reason for their success, in addition to their pragmatism, is their kairotic sense, i.e. knowing the right time to act and when to stand pat. Those born on this day usually handle the existential dilemma well, taking responsibility for directing their lives while accepting the laws of inevitability. When February 23rd people are frustrated in one direction, they rarely backtrack, but simply choose another path. Most of the time, before embarking on Plan A, they have already considered the merits of Plan B and hold it in ready reserve. Those born on this day excel at offering advice to those who have simply reached a dead end and can go no further. Often they themselves or their services prove to be the viable alternative to a stalemate. In their private lives, February 23rd people must be aware of adopting an all-knowing or infallible attitude and becoming complacent or unresponsive to the emotional needs of others. They must strive to keep their minds open and tune into the wishes of those around them. By truly valuing the opinions of others and listening quietly and non-judgmentally to their concerns, they will win friends and inspire support for their own efforts. My jacket doesn't seem to want to stay on me. Oh well. Check your posture. Sit up straight. Let's continue. Numbers and planets. Those born on the 23rd of the month are ruled by the number 5. 2 plus 3 equals 5. And by the planet Mercury. Since Mercury represents quickness of thought and change, February 23rd people may find themselves likely to both overreact mentally and to change their physical surroundings with great regularity. The combination Mercury-Neptune, Neptune rules Pisces, indicates a great sensitivity to external phenomena and a logical ability to think in universal terms. Whatever hard knocks those ruled by the number 5 receive from life typically have little lasting effect on them, as they recover quickly. The number 23 is associated with happening, and this is particularly true for February 23rd people who wish to be at the center of the action. The planets. Astrology traditionally speaks of 10 principal heavenly bodies which can be viewed from the Earth. The 2 luminaries, Sun and Moon, 3 inner planets, Mercury, Venus, Mars, and 5 outer planets, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. All of these, including Sun and Moon, are called planets, and each represents a different facet of the human personality. The names of the planets largely derive from classical Greek and Roman mythology, and their symbolism from the gods and goddesses which they represent. Every planet serves as an astrological indicator as well as a heavenly body. In this book, the rulership of both astrological signs and numbers by planets gives important clues to the personality of those born on each day. Mercury is the small, speedy planet closest to the Sun, named for the winged messenger of the gods in Greek and Roman mythology. Mercury rules the signs Gemini and Virgo, as well as the number 5. Today is the number 5. 2 plus 3 equals 5, and symbolizes quickness of thought and communication. Those influenced by Mercury tend to bring vivacity, an impulse to endeavors in which they are involved. Attention to detail, a love of games and puzzles, and an ability to recuperate quickly are all associated with this planet. Neptune was the king of the sea in classical mythology, and his trident is symbolized in the glyph of this watery planet. Neptunian people can be profound, dreamy, diffuse, and difficult to pin down. Fantasy-rich, the minds of Pisces and those ruled by the number 7 are often attracted to highly imaginative objects. Neptunian energies invariably exert an irresistibly magnetic influence, able to dissolve away barriers of a more rigid and absolute nature. Tarot. The fifth card of the major arcana is the Hierophant, an interpreter of sacred mysteries who is symbolic of human understanding and faith. His knowledge is esoteric, and he has authority over things unseen. Favorable traits conferred by this card are self-assuredness and insight. Unfavorable traits include moralizing, bombast, and dogmatism. The major arcana. Far more significant are the 22 cards known as the major arcana, which cannot be associated with the modern playing card deck. They are in all probability a concentrated version of Hermetic philosophy, as later interpreted in the Kabbalah, Alchemy, magic, and astrology. They comprise a psychological study of man and his relationship to the world of the spirit and to the physical world. Their symbolism is a type of shorthand for metaphysics and mysticism. Here are truths of so subtle and divine an order that to express them baldly in human language would be a sacrilege. Only esoteric symbolism can reveal them to the inner spirit of the seeker. The major arcana are numbered from 0 to 21, each bearing a title which to some degree describes the card. Each card represents a distinct principle, law, power, or element of nature. The designs on the cards also illuminate the life of man, his sorrows and joys, hopes and despairs. They further indicate his search for the wisdom which enables him to control his passions and to help in his transition to higher spheres where he enters into things of the spirit. Any book on the occult will be more readily comprehended. Any of these 22 cards of the major arcana can be the foundation for a great deal of meditation and inner enlightenment. In addition to this, be convinced that there is some power present when the cards are read that directs their distribution. An extra physical power now demonstrated in our universities as psychokinetic effect cooperates with the unconscious muscular activities of the person using the deck and tends to affect the cards as they are shuffled and cut, so that when dealt they fall into positions that have significance in relation to the subject of the reading. The Fool, card number 0, can in a sense be compared to the Joker in the modern deck of cards, and then in that it has no assigned place in the deck, but stands more or less alone. Some writers on the tarot, in order to carry out their own interpretation, place the Fool between the 20th and the 21st cards, but there is no concrete evidence that this card belongs in that position, or for that matter, as the first card of the major arcana. Rather, this is a separate card, a third part of the deck, the sum total of all. The Fool is the sum total of all. The Keys. The Hierophant. The master of the sacred mysteries wears the triple crown of a pope and is seated between two pillars, repeating the theme of duality, as in the pillars of the high priestess. He holds a scepter terminating in the triple cross. At his feet are the cross keys of the hidden doctrine, and before him kneel two initiates. He represents traditional teaching, which is suited to the masses, while the high priestess only to the initiated. He is the ruling power of external religion. Divinatory meaning: preference for ritual, creed, the outer forms of religion, bondage to the conventions of society, need to conform to be socially approved. Reversed: unconventionality, unorthodoxy, openness to new ideas, gullibility. Tarot cards have been used for centuries to predict the future, shed light on the past, and reveal the mysterious patterns of character and destiny. Look into the fire and ask yourself what you want to see, and the answer is also in your asking. Health. Those born on February 23rd are likely to drive themselves too hard. They must learn to rest and relax. Also, undisturbed, full nights of sleep are crucial to their health. Therefore, a top priority should be given to making their sleep space comfortable and quiet. Because of their sensuous orientation, those born on this day are particularly receptive to massage and all forms of pleasurable physical stimulation. This sensuality is shown in their attitude toward food as well. They can make excellent cooks, capable of creating new dishes and rethinking traditional recipes. They must, however, be careful of letting their appetites run away with them and are advised to limit fat in their cooking and diet. Regular, moderate, daily exercise is recommended for February 23rd people. Something I disagree with is the being advised to limit fat in cooking and diet. It's actually sugar that is more responsible for obesity, especially in America. The SAD diet, or standard American diet, is full of sugar. A common way to prevent this is to look at the ingredients of everything you eat. Usually sugar is present even in things that you don't consider sweet. So you want to limit sugar more than fat. Fat can actually be healthier for you. What you want are healthy fats like avocado and healthy oils. And even fat from meat, if you cook the meat appropriately, is healthy. But anyway, that may be controversial. So that's a topic for another time. Let's rewind, because we also need to go over your daily advice and meditation for the day. Advice. Listen to others and remain open to their suggestions. You may not always be the best solution to a problem. Learn to back off when necessary. In your personal life, be more caring and attentive. Remember to relax and have fun too. Like, an example is, I'm going to have fun later. No, I'm just kidding. I'm probably going to go hiking or spend time outside, because I like to do that every day. Meditation. In plants, as in people, the strongest candidate for survival is often the volunteer. Thank you for watching. This is today's ASMR. Happy birthday to those born today. And I will see you in the next episode.